This podcast is brought to you by Manscaped.
Balls.
Exactly.
Did I do it right?
Use that promo code DANGLE to get 20% off when you order at manscaped.com. What's that promo again, guys? Promo code.
Dangle.
How do you spell it?
DANGLE.
Jesse, what do you do with it?
You said you get 20% off, but that is not true.
What did I do?
You get 20% off plus free shipping.
Oh!
How dare you forget the free shipping?
How?
Wrong. Terrible. What do you do with the promo code, Jesse?
You enter
Shave
it
your
at,
ball. Oh, wait. No, sorry. The promo code?
You enter it at checkout at manscaped.com.
Thank you, Manscaped, for being our presenting sponsor.
SDP, the Steve Dangle Podcast, with your hosts, Steve Dangle, Adam Wilde, and Jesse Blake.
Heck of a weekend in my mentions.
As your friend, you did that to yourself.
You think so?
Yeah, like you volunteered. I'm going to talk about this on the show. And I'm like, okay. Because like we both genuinely thought that thing.
Right.
And now here you are with a shirt that matches your bubbly can.
Well, okay, so if you missed the last episode, what I said was I thought that overall, right now, Austin Matthews is the better player than Connor McDavid. And
it was a great experiment. Like no one listened.
What do you mean?
Adam, I thought we had a great conversation that no one listened to.
Well, so what makes you say that?
Is people kept being like, well, over their career, automatically you're disqualified from the conversation. Disqualified.
Yeah, if you start there, that's not my argument.
Start there, our conversation had nothing to do with their entire careers.
Yes.
Well, over the whole season, disqualified. Had nothing to do with the entire season. Dumb. Not hard.
Now, the thing that people were most upset about was
Is that
something
you're from Toronto?
No, it was something that Jesse said.
Yeah.
Which is Leon Draisaitl is good at defense.
Yeah, so what the hell turned into this narrative where Leon Draisaitl is the worst defensive player in the NHL right now?
Well,
if your fancy stats say that, your stats are wrong.
I don't know about that.
No,
Jesse.
you can't tell me he's the worst player in the NHL at playing defense. That doesn't make sense.
I think it's McDavid, actually, isn't it?
No, Leon Draisaitl.
By the Dom Lucian card on defense, McDavid's a -1.7. Leon is a -4.4.
So what I saw from the numbers guys, from the calculator boys, is that they ranked like 327 players in defense, and Leon and McDavid were like 325 and 323.
Wow,
that doesn't make sense.
Is Jesse
Is there not nuance to playing defense that you can't qualify if the best player in hockey is your worst? Is the worst player in your model? That doesn't compute.
But maybe he's not good at defense, Jesse. At all.
Every single player in the NHL is better at defense than Connor McDavid. I'm saying that sentence.
He said Leon Draisaitl, not Connor McDavid.
No, sorry, Leon Draisaitl. Yes, and I'm saying that sentence, and they're like, "Yeah, that's true."
Well,
doesn't that sound like hyperbole? Tell me that doesn't sound like hyperbole.
It's a little hyperbole.
God,
I'd like to have Dom on because he's not dumb, obviously.
Yeah.
Because
Dom Lucian?
I know he's really dumb.
He's not.
No, because I look at that information and I go, "Oh, well, this is useful."
Yes,
because it shows he's playing one way, right? If you told Draisaitl to play a little differently, or if his team wasn't always, playing from behind, I imagine they would play a little differently.
Oh, Steve, what was that? A little nuance to the numbers? That's all I'm asking. Don't present numbers and then say, "Oh, he's ranked 323 in this model. That means he's 323 bad."
I think I think we're wasting our time with the show. Each show should be 8 seconds and 280 characters.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
Just
it.
nice and easy for everyone to
nuance,
If you watch TikTok, also let me throw this at you. This is
We gotta
from
stop. We gotta just stop.
not McLeafer sent me this. He's like, this is from Jack Hahn and Jay Fresh's shared chapter in Hockey Tactics. They said McDavid and Draisaitl are horrible defensively, and not just very not good. Not just, it's not a strength of theirs for sure. They are two of the worst defensive players in the entire league. And they said, let's try that whole ranking thing again, but using defensive stats this time. And I guess they ranked it since 17-18, and out of 97 forwards
this is what
who played over 1,000 minutes over those 3 seasons, they rank 391st in goals against per 60, 397th out of 380 in expected goals against per 60, and it goes on and on and on. And so, I mean, listen, when we talked about this with Ovechkin, remember when Jeremy Roenick said Ovechkin needs to be, I think it was Roenick or Milbury that said he needed to be a student of the game.
I think it was Milbury.
He's too focused on goal scoring, and we're like, that's complete bullshit. Like, are you kidding me?
And also, okay, I think the biggest lie we've told ourselves as hockey fans is that he changed. He's super
Ovi? Yeah,
he continued to do Ovi, but he won a cup, so people laid off.
Yeah.
So
Ovi makes score. Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
And he might beat Gretzky, which is the thing. Might beat Gretzky goal record. He's on track to. So my thinking in saying all this is, I think overall Austin Matthews is a better player in all facets of the game. Did I say McDavid wasn't the more talented player naturally? No. Did I say that McDavid hasn't had a better career than Matthews? No.
You're qualifying all these things that we qualified in the clip.
Yeah, you already said this and nobody listened.
Like, I don't know. You gotta.
I think
we don't make people fill out a form to comment,
but
so
you know what
we
it
should
is?
just ignore them.
I think people need to realize that the race for top player in the NHL is not as far away as you think it is. Everybody looks at it like it's Connor and, well, Leon's at the bottom of the hill and the rest of them come after.
You know the stuff that you fill out so that you show that you're not a robot?
Yeah.
And it's like, how many of these pictures contain a plane? It's, okay, how many of these things are things Adam said? And you have to click on them. It's, okay, prove you're not a child. Okay, so Adam said this, shit! I don't get to comment.
Like when you're logging into Gmail and it's like, pick only the squares that have the road signs in them.
Yep.
And you're like, does that have a road sign in? I don't know.
McDavid sucks. Click.
Fuck. Got to start
Damn
again.
It. Well.
Yeah.
Guess I'll have to leave a shithead comment on something else.
Anyway, it's been a fun weekend just reading the mentions. I just kind of left it alone.
Mm-hmm.
But even by Dom's charts, they are 0.1 away from each other, Matthews and McDavid. McDavid by a slight edge. And that's over the course of the entire season. And here's the other thing. And producer Drew reached out about this. He's like, I'm not really sure what this... He was on a bit of a tear this weekend. I'm not sure if somebody...
He's getting sassy.
What did he say?
He got upset because he's like, because I posted the charts.
Yeah.
And actually one of them was like 30 days out of date.
So what does the chart mean?
The Dom Decision chart.
What does it mean?
The hockey card thing.
What's the nuance to the chart?
Thrap'em.
You can't give me a number and not give me any nuance.
So basically, they've got these charts by which they evaluate a player.
Okay.
With The Athletic, okay?
Okay.
And Connor McDavid is obviously at the top.
Sure.
But he has fallen 0.1 and Matthews is up 0.1.
Whoa!
So now, McDavid, the overall, McDavid was at 6.0. Now he's at 5.9. Matthews at 5.8.
By the way,
so
that's so stupid good.
God.
It's insane.
He's worth...
Is this
6
war?
more wins?
So is it a war chart?
Yeah, it's basically your wins, like how many wins you're worth.
Yeah,
per season.
Yeah, wins above replacement.
And anyway, long story short, producer Drew's like, well, I don't understand what this proves. And I'm thinking, I'm like, Drew, do you remember the start Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl had? Mm-hmm. And do you remember the start the Leafs had? The Leafs were pretty ho-hum first 10 games. Matthews pretty ho-hum the first 10 games. Wasn't great.
He struggled. Yeah.
He struggled. McDavid and Leon Draisaitl were otherworldly. The fact that Matthews is even in this conversation just shows you how fucking good he's been since then. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. Like, people forget that people were talking in Edmonton like Dave Tippett was going to win the Jack Adams. It was the first 15, 16 games for the Oilers. They were unbeatable. Unbeatable. They couldn't lose.
The worst or the scariest story about that team is, weren't they down 5-1 to the Rangers? And
then won 7-5 or something?
But they scored to make it 5-2, and Draisaitl allegedly said to one of the Rangers players, "Here we come."
Mm-hmm.
That's terrifying.
No,
that is
he's the
Halloween
worst.
Zombie Frankenstein monster talk.
The worst defensive player ever to play hockey.
Ever in the history.
He said that.
He's, you know who's better? Travis Dermott in a spinorama.
Whoa.
Better defensively.
You know, Mark Scheifele.
Now there's not a great defensive player. Roses are red, violets are blue. This script is for Valentine's Day, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't shave you.
No.
You don't like it?
It's a mouthful, and like I just don't know.
You know, okay, well, manscaped.com. It's post Valentine's Day, but the script still says Valentine's Day. Manscaped.com. Use that promo code DANGLE for 20% off and free shipping. Steve, have I ever told you about the number one product package
No.
in male landscaping?
But you did tell me about the special cinnamon-flavored Manscaped products for Valentine's Day. So, Adam, go ahead and talk about those.
There is not
Let's
that.
not make up products.
The number
They don't
one
have
product
those.
Let's
in
not.
this
Sponsors
package.
love when you make a
Let's
product.
not make up products.
Learn marketing.
The Performance Package 4.0 from Manscaped is just the thing every guy needs in their life to make each and every day a little more special. The number one product in this package is the Lawnmower 4.0 electric trimmer, designed to trim hair on loose skin. And get this, the trimmer's advanced skin-safe technology reduces cuts and nicks on your delicate balls. It even has a 4,000K LED spotlight, so you can shave your balls from anywhere and any light too. If the light goes out at your house and the generator doesn't come on, don't worry, you'll still have the flashlight.
Oh, my God.
Think about it. Get 20% off with free shipping. Use the code DANGLE at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com. Use the code DANGLE. Join Cupid and shoot your arrow through Manscaped, even though it's past Valentine's Day. What did you eat every day before going to school when you were a kid?
Cereal.
And what was it loaded with?
Cereal.
And no, what was the cereal loaded with?
Sugar.
Yeah,
Probably.
and carbs and bad stuff, right?
Yeah, my parents didn't really let me do that because I was too hyper.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I had sugar-coated cereal,
That
and
makes
I miss
sense.
it. But here's the thing. You grow up and you realize that you want to cut down on carbs and sugar and unhealthy food, and you can't eat that stuff anymore, and I get heartburn, and I can't eat it.
You got heartburn?
I
From
do.
cereal?
Yeah, I get heartburn from too much sugar. Yeah, it's terrible. That's why I go to Magic Spoon, guys. 0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, and only 4 net grams of carbs in each serving. Only 140 calories in each serving. And let's say this. If you're keto, if you're gluten-free, if you're grain-free, if you're soy-free, if you're low-carb, got you covered at Magic Spoon. Can I run you through some of the flavors?
Sure.
Cocoa, fruity frosted, peanut butter, blueberry, cinnamon, cookies and cream, and maple waffle.
So it's good even if you don't get heartburn from cereal.
Something like that.
Cereal giving you heartburn.
It's too much sugar.
It's the funniest thing I've ever heard.
Cereal's too spicy for Adam.
MagicSpoon.com/SDP to grab a custom bundle of cereal today. Be sure to use that promo code SDP at checkout to save $5 off.
We never got to talk about Adam Brooks and the Jets because that happened after the show. But do you think they did that for revenge?
No, I think they did that. So apparently he's skating with Connor and Dubois,
That's cool.
which so
He's
I guess
a useful player. I don't understand why they didn't
But
claim
they
him the first
passed
time.
on him the first time.
I think in between the Leafs claiming him and the Jets claiming him, they played a game and 2 guys got hurt. I don't know who those 2 guys were.
That makes sense.
But no, it's immediately
pick.
I saw that he's with
Kyle Connor.
Kyle Connor and Pierre-Luc Dubois, and I'm like, dude, he's gonna do well.
Yeah.
Like he's
It's
gonna
a better
throw up a bunch of
situation.
points, and it's gonna be another Mason Marchment thing where people go, "Oh, Dubas, you friggin' idiot!" But like, to me, he's a solid player. He's your classic AHL tweener who can generate offense fine, totally fine. And you put him with an elite goal scorer and Pierre-Luc Dubois, who's actually had a really good season. Yeah, I think like he would have to play the worst hockey of his career to screw that up.
Yeah.
He's going to be good.
Yeah.
He's going to. They haven't waived him, have they? I think they will.
Again.
Yeah, when guys get hurt, I think they will.
And he's back to the Leafs.
He's potentially back to the Leafs.
Could still get him for the playoffs.
You could. You could. What?
Hashtag claim Brooks.
Everyone's like thinking about the cap implications and everything, and I'm like, where does he travel? Like during those 4 days,
He has to report, doesn't he?
I don't think so.
And he was skating with the Marlies, from what I heard.
What?
was
Brooksy, yeah, I think
don't-
he was. Was he not?
I don't know. Well, because think like traveling from Vegas to Toronto, like that's a day. That's your day.
Yep.
The entire day. Like because it's like a 5-6 hour flight plus you're losing 3 hours. So then you got to go to Winnipeg and I don't know. I'd like did he have to travel? Is what I want to know. Because
He had to.
sometimes the team will just tell you, listen, stay put.
I think you have to report. I think you physically have to report.
Well, like Liljegren when he got sent down for a day
Mm-hmm.
the other day, did he have to go?
Yeah, I actually think you do. That's
Good.
actually
You don't have to report in person. Like, you don't have to high five and swipe your
you
key
used to
card.
have to. You actually used to have to.
I
Yeah.
don't think you have to do that anymore.
Well, maybe not with COVID.
Because you can do paper transactions and they can just have it just go.
If
through
it's a
the
trade
NHL
through, but I
offices.
feel like if you're property of the Maple Leafs, I think you still have to come in and report
Okay, let's
and
say,
do a physical.
Let's say the Leafs have 2 games in 3 days, one against Vegas, one against Arizona. So they're all the way out there.
Uh-huh.
And as a paper transaction, they got to send down Sandin for one game. And
Like they're doing with Liljegren.
then call him back up. Is Sandin going from Vegas to Toronto to Arizona?
I think I got it for you guys.
All right, he's got
Okay.
it.
On Wednesday, this is from the Winnipeg Sun. Scott Billick wrote an article on Adam Brooks. On Wednesday, the Vegas Golden Knights placed Brooks on waivers. He headed to Colorado to meet up with the Henderson Silver Knights, Vegas's AHL affiliate, in the midst of an extended road trip. By Thursday, Brooks was on a plane back to Vegas after the Toronto Maple Leafs, who drafted Brooks 92nd overall, claimed him. By Thursday night,
So he's going the wrong way.
and with the Leafs now trying to sneak Brooks through waivers, assign him to the AHL's Toronto Marlies. Perhaps it was just intuition. Brooks didn't unpack his bags. The decision saved himself some time on Friday when Winnipeg Jets put through a successful claim, sending him home. And then he said, and then
Because
he doesn't
he's
talk about his
from
travel
Winnipeg.
schedule.
by
Yeah,
the way.
so he goes back home. So that was the travel schedule. So I guess he did fly in.
I
think you
And
have.
then he heads to Winnipeg.
At
but-
least Toronto to Winnipeg's not so
Yeah.
bad, but
Yeah.
it's still. I love how it's the next province over, and it's like a 2.5-hour flight or something like that.
I felt bad for him. I want to. I guess the thing we could talk about the game, but I think you handled that pretty well in your LFR. I mean, it was one of those games where it felt like good teams play each other, and one's going to lose.
They struggle against teams that play the way St. Louis plays, but overall they did fine.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And remember, 2 of those goals are empty netters, right? So
At least one of them, yeah. No, I think it was just the 6.
was it? I thought it was 5-6.
No, okay, so here's what happened. We started the game really well. Last week we had nightmare technical
On your stream?
difficulties with the stream.
Yeah.
And this week it was good, but it got worse as the game went, and we missed one of the goals.
No.
I think it was the 5-3 one, so I didn't actually see what happened.
Jesus. Wow.
It's very frustrating, but we're getting the hang of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You'll get there.
Yep.
Well, I thought I looked at that game and like I don't feel like there's any reason to freak out on something like that. You know what I mean? Like it sort of just doesn't feel like
The Leafs handled it worse than I did.
Yeah, the Leafs made a trade.
Yeah,
well,
Sheldon Keefe was.
they had made that trade before the game started, guys.
Yeah, but
Labushkin had been scratched. They were there.
Tell everybody about the Jack Campbell trade.
So Jack Campbell became a Leaf after the Leafs had a terrible game. Well, actually, no, it was a good game against the New York Rangers in which Michael Hutchinson was terrible. But Hutchinson was terrible prior to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Liljegren was one of many Leafs defensemen who I thought got eaten alive in their own end against the St. Louis Blues. And then they make a trade for a defenseman after that. But they had been brutal in their own end before that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So to me, I saw Sheldon Keefe losing his cool behind the bench. And I think it was probably based off of previous fiery conversations with Kyle Dubas that helped facilitate this trade. A trade that rules, by the way.
So we'll get into that in a second. That's really, really interesting that you think that. I to me, I felt like that trade was on the way. Like,
Oh, yeah,
they
it
were
was
talking
definitely
about
on
it on
the way.
Hockey Night in Canada. Like this was done.
Yeah,
This was
they
done
didn't.
before the
They
deal.
didn't do the trade at that moment. Like that doesn't make sense. They were working on the trade, obviously, but
it was reported by Friedge at second intermission while the game was tied
Yeah.
at 3. So it's not like Dubas is
Right.
and like getting on the phone.
right. That's not what we're trying to say.
Yeah.
But
No.
the idea is we saw Saturday night the Leafs struggle defensively again, and Dubas kind of hit the button and said, "Okay, just complete the deal."
If it sounds like I'm repeating myself, it's because the same thing has been true for a long time. Just ask Kyle Dubas, who addressed the thing that I mentioned.
The telling thing I thought was after the game, they asked Keefe about Jack Campbell's performance, and he said we didn't play good enough for him to be good. And I thought that was interesting because I think what he's talking about is structural breakdowns. Some of those goals, you just feel like, man, like Alan likes to chide me whenever one of his clients scores on the Leafs.
Oh,
so when
man.
Perron scored,
Can the Kings call up Martin Ferk already? Alan is just inundating my Twitter timeline with Martin Ferk AHL goals. Can you freaking call up Martin Ferk?
I just feel like when the goals went in, there were times where you're like, I don't know. Like there was one goal with Muzzin and Liljegren where I'm like, neither of these men has their man. And I think that was goal 2 or 3. And you're kind of thinking like, they're good until they're not. And then they completely sometimes fall apart and you're going, what the hell's going on?
I don't remember if it was the third goal or the game winner.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was the game winner, where Liljegren has no one.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's just, bless him, he's trying, but he's useless in that situation. He's got no one. And Campbell kicks out a rebound. And Mrazek had a goal off of a rebound recently where I think we can all agree it was terrible. He kicks it straight out. You can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Campbell kicked it out, angled enough where
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that should be a crisis that his team helps him out with. There's going to be rebounds, for God's sake.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh, that's all it takes? To shoot it at the goalie's pads. Automatic goal. No. If someone is doing anything, if they end up picking the wrong guy, so be it. That's the forward's problem for leaving you in a situation where you're outnumbered. Which, by the way, the Blues did an unreal job of against the Leafs. Most of their goals were Leafs attack, turn it over, Blues head the other way. It's a 3 or 4 on 2.
Yeah.
You're done. Liljegren had no one.
Yeah. And I also want to shout out, before we go on this one, a couple things. First off, Jordan Kyrou, again, always makes something happen. Always.
Never
Second,
dropping him.
Jesse, your Husso pick earlier this year.
Oh yeah, he's
That
performing.
was a while ago, too.
Yeah, he's kept it up.
What are they going to do with, what is he, 8-0-2 in his last 10?
Something like
Yeah,
that.
I think it's better than that.
On the season, I think he's 12-3-2.
Well, and it's going to be interesting this offseason because there's going to be teams looking for goaltending. You wonder,
Bennington?
Benner's got to go,
Yeah.
obviously. If Husso's going to play that well, you can't have $6 million tied up on a goalie that's sitting on the bench.
Ben Edmonton? Hmm?
I like that's a bit.
The Joylers?
It's the Joy.
Erden?
Joy and Bennington? Do I look joyful?
Do I look?
I think we landed on that St. Louis just runs with this because they're playing too well, and it's an off-season problem.
Sure.
It's
you
so
know.
funny that they could win a Stanley Cup with Bennington as their backup.
Yeah,
Like, just
We
what
could have
a-
said that about the 17-18 Pittsburgh Penguins.
it's
so funny.
Marc-Andre Fleury, Matt Murray all over again.
Yeah?
What the fuck?
Yeah.
So let's talk about the Nick Ritchie trade, okay? There's a lot of angles here.
Is that what it's called?
With the trade?
See, I've been wondering. Like, is it the Nick Ritchie trade?
Well, to us it is because
Yeah.
the question was, how did the Leafs drop this contract?
Yeah.
Right? That was and if you look at who they brought in the offseason, it was Ritchie, Kasha, Bunting, and why can't I think of the fourth one?
A bunch.
Well, no, but there was like those
Ritchie,
four. Kasha,
Bunting, Kasha,
Count Hosang.
Kampf.
Camp. 3
We're
out of
not-
4 of
we're
those.
not- yeah.
Hosang.
Jose.
3 out of
Not
4 of
until
those
he's on an NHL deal.
is good, right? You can if you're batting 750, you're laughing.
You know what?
But
not,
the problem
not
is,
just good, great. 3 of the 4 are great.
yeah, and they're
legitimately
valuable pieces that have contributed every game. The problem is that Ritchie's was the most expensive one, and it was 2 years.
great. Right.
And he's the one who got the best start on the top line. He was supposed to be that
They
guy in
set
the
him
bunting
up.
slot. Yeah.
Like if he was going to succeed, it had to be.
they
him.
gave him every opportunity, and he didn't take it.
There was a lot of Jimmy Vesey there. Like expensive.
You're just
Jimmy
kind of
Vesey.
vanilla.
Well, it wasn't not even that. Like they put him in a position to succeed. I remember Vesey, I think he got a goal in his first game, and I was like, check that out.
Yeah.
Another one for Milos.
We just
And-
wanted 15 from him. We just wanted 15 goals.
Jesus. A dozen, 10, anything.
Mm-hmm.
And no, it just didn't work. It didn't work. They gave Ritchie chances, man.
So here's the deal as it breaks out is the conditional draft pick. It's either choice of Toronto's 2022 third or it's 2025 second.
2023 third.
Sorry, 2023.
Do you
I
want
don't
to
know.
read the full trade here?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I
So
just can't read
Here,
apparently.
Adam, go ahead.
Go ahead, Jesse.
Jesse, go ahead.
the Arizona Coyotes acquire Nick Ritchie, a 2025 second-round pick, which is conditional. The conditions on that pick are Arizona has the option to exchange the pick for Toronto's 2023 third round pick. The Toronto Maple Leafs acquire Ryan Dzingel and Ilya Lyubushkin.
Now, Dzingel is on waivers.
And we're not going to know until the show's done.
Yeah.
If he clears, I think he will.
I think he clears.
He's got a $1.3 million cap hit or 135 or something.
1.7.
Oh, it's Lyubushkin's got the 135.
Yeah, and like a track record of scoring 20 plus goals, but he's got 7 points in 26 games.
Yeah.
1.1.
He's usually good on bad teams.
Yeah, it's kind of tough.
Yeah.
It's kind of
and
tough.
I guess his skating's regressed. He's gotten a bit older. The thing is that now, though, he has positive defensive impacts. He has changed his game. Because before, he was known as a bit of a liability defensively and a goal scorer, right?
Torch didn't like him.
Back-to-back 20-goal seasons. Way back when with the Ottawa Senators.
Yeah. So Lyubushkin is the interesting part of this because Dzingel, I think, is going to report to the Marlies, assuming he doesn't get claimed. Lyubushkin brings you absolutely nothing on offense.
Nope.
Like zero.
19 points in 180 games. 1 goal. Yeah.
So nothing.
That's all right.
He's 6'2". He shoots right. He kills penalties and he throws hits and he can play more than 18 minutes a night.
Oh, man. I don't know. I think the Leafs need more offense, though.
Is that what people said?
Yeah.
They've got a lot of offense.
No
okay.
one said that.
No.
Like,
I'm like, what? No way.
I thought most of the reaction to this trade was pretty logical. Like, okay, good that they got him. No offense. None whatsoever. Good defensively and big. Now what's next?
So you think this is setting up for another piece? Because the salaries match, right?
The salaries match for now. And by the way, so when I first saw this deal, it was like, what is Arizona thinking? He makes 3.3 next year. This doesn't make any sense. They're probably, unless Ritchie goes bananas and they can flip him for something else, they're probably going to buy him out and they're going to save money. They essentially bought a third or a second for 1.4
right
mil, which, whatever, it serves their purposes. But the Leafs addressed a need on defense. Dzingel, blah, 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 blah. Like, I think he was just there to make the money work. And they dumped Ritchie's contract without any salary retention.
Now, people are saying it's an expensive way to dump a contract because of the draft pick.
No.
A second, 20 years from now?
Yeah, so this is my question. Is it an expensive way or is it an all right way?
So,
because there's a lot of, again, Drew, first off, producer Drew, Mr. Sun Media over here, dropping fucking, he's like, oh, Leaf fans will love this guy, and he plays literally the worst clip of Lyubushkin's career and puts it on his Twitter account.
Because it was in a dang it of, it was Vejmelka's fault. It was him giving the puck away, I think, if I remember correctly.
Oh, okay.
It was a bad giveaway from either Vejmelka or Lyubushkin.
This season?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's like, Leaf fans are gonna love this, and then he was criticizing Dubas, who, by the way, was almost his favorite team's general manager, for saying, well, that was a really expensive way to get rid of a contract.
No.
There are people saying it, so let's just address that.
Yeah, sure. So, first of all, it's a third round pick next draft or a second, and I will admit, a second is a lot to give up, 4 drafts from now. There is a world where the Leafs do really poorly 4 years from now.
Mm-hmm.
And that pick is 33rd overall, which is now the first pick of the second round.
At that point, it might be 36th or 37th overall.
Yeah.
These are the new teams.
Still nothing in Quebec. But
Arizona has a second hockey team.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That'll show us.
We're going to play at ASU and Gila. We're back at Gila.
Yeah.
We got Glendale and Phoenix going.
So in 4 drafts from now, the Arizona Coyotes might have the Leafs second rounder and an NHL building to play in.
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
Maybe.
Wow.
Yeah.
Maybe. It's true.
And by the way, that second round pick is 2025, and then 3 years from down the road, you expect it to play.
Right. So we're talking like 2028, 2029 when
Like-
you expect this player to hit the NHL?
Guys.
Dubas won't be the general manager of the Leafs.
No.
Dubas will be in his 40s. when this...
So will we.
So will we.
Yeah.
So will we.
Jesse won't.
Jesse won't.
No,
Dick.
not yet.
I don't even think you're in your 30s yet.
Not yet, no.
Yeah.
Just a dick.
Like-
this guy?
The... Guys, like, listen,
It's
I get
nothing.
being grumpy. I get grumpy about this team. Oh, boy. you really got to go out of your way for this one.
It's a good trade.
Here's the way I put it. So I was talking to Myrtle, and he goes, oh, well, this could help the Leafs re-sign Jack Campbell.
Mm-hmm.
And he's right, but here's another way to look at it. Morgan Riley makes $5 million.
Mm-hmm.
Next year, he's making 7.5. Guess what? Whoop!
There's Ritchie. There's the raise.
Yep.
Done. The raise for next year is covered like that. Dzingel and Lyubushkin could play 0 games for the Toronto Maple Leafs. This is a good deal. But here's the thing. They're going to play games for the Leafs. Lyubushkin has a chance to help fix a problem they've had forever.
Mm-hmm.
And they save 2.5 in the cap next year. That's ridiculous.
And Kessel's number comes off the books of the cap next year,
1.2. So that's 3.7. Which is what?
Way more than they've had the last few off seasons to spend.
You really got to go out of your way to hate this one, guys.
So Lyubushkin himself, because a lot of people don't know who the hell this guy is. And it's fair. Like, he's a boring defenseman that you don't notice.
It's like a second or third pair defenseman on the worst team in the league.
He didn't grow up in North America. Like, he didn't play here in his junior years.
Yeah.
He was bought out from Russia. So, like, yeah, he's foreign to everybody.
So what is he? Where does he slot it?
Ideally, I think third pair, playing with Rasmus Sandin. Sandin gets to carry the puck to his heart's content, as he should. Create lots of offense, and he should be able to pinch to his heart's content, while Lyubushkin stands back there and is big and tall, and that is it.
And moves people from the net. Does he have a nasty streak?
He's, I don't know, they call him the Russian Bear.
Okay.
So listen, I'm not going to pretend to be an Ilya Lyubushkin expert either, but I do know he does have weaknesses. For example, I saw in his charts he's apparently not the greatest at defending the rush. The Leafs...
A big lumbering guy, not good on the rush?
Yeah,
Who knew?
The Leafs generally have been improving in that regard. I don't know what the numbers are there, but just from watching them, they're to me, their biggest flaw is the front of their net. It's open season. It's completely open season. And there was a play recently. Sandin, who's a tough nut, like, I do like him, but he was so mismatched in terms of size with the person he was battling in front. And I'm sorry, they need some size. Muzzin, we know, will move people. Justin Hall, who I think can play, but you can't put him in that role. He's big for nothing.
Because he's 6'2" as well, but he's just not...
He's big and he's thick.
Yeah.
Big for nothing.
He doesn't have that mean streak.
No.
You never see Justin Hall mixing it up.
And here's the thing. It is February 21st. The trade deadline is a month from now.
Yeah, it's so long. I was surprised that the trade started turning out.
There's time.
Ilya Lyubushkin is about to get a month-long audition, and by the playoffs, he may not even be in the lineup. And all of a sudden, if he's your seventh, well,
I don't hate that.
Who are the two guys who take over? The Leafs have assets they can move. You can't tell me there's no takers out there for Travis Dermott. No one's going to take a flyer on like a 24-year-old defenseman
who making $700,000
who can play both sides.
I don't think the Leafs are gonna. That's the move they're looking at.
No, but they could.
Right.
Like,
Kyle Dubas, after the game, he had like a 10-minute press conference. It auto played after the LFR. It was very nice for my viewing.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So I watched that through, and like he essentially said, I'm going to paraphrase, but he said it's best man up. Like it's whoever wins this job over the next little bit to heading towards the playoffs and the trade deadline. That's who gets the role here. He says I got an abundance of defensemen, and whoever plays the best gets the job.
Isn't that the best though?
Yeah.
Isn't that what you want?
Yeah.
And they
like
gave up,
you don't have guys playing because they have to because their contract's so fat.
They freed up cap next year. They added to the roster without giving up anything off of it. Guys, I'm not seeing the downside here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. So much. Listen, could it go wrong? Of course. Any trade could go wrong. You could trade Wayne Gretzky for some, seventh rounder, and you hit on the seventh rounder, and they break all of his records. I don't know.
The Gretzky trade to St. Louis didn't go well for LA.
No. So much would have to go wrong. There are so many layers of wrong that would have to happen here for this to be a net negative for the Leafs.
Mm-hmm.
Should they be done? No.
Right.
Obviously not. They can't. You can't make another trade in a trade. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nope.
You're asking. Well, no, they still need a second pair of guys. Well, yeah, I agree. They didn't do that with this one. They
And-
did stuff that will help facilitate.
Imagine if the Leafs win a round and anybody's stressed about a second round pick 40 years from now.
Guys,
come on.
I can't psych myself up to get upset about that. I really
No.
By the way, the Wayne Gretzky trade to the St. Louis Blues. I just want to throw this at you. Can you
It's-
name one player who went to Los Angeles? Name one. Name one fucking player.
Kyle Clifford.
Not Kyle Clifford.
I did the trade tree for this too. Oh my god, that's how bad it is. I did the trade
bad
tree
trade.
and I don't remember.
Bad trade for the Kings.
Oh, there's a dude. That's Slav Verata? Is
Nope.
he in it? No.
You did the trade tree.
And I don't remember. Dude, it's a terrible it's really
It's a bad trade.
Because I want to say there's
no.
like two. There's like a former first rounder and a first rounder, and like basically they did get a bunch of futures. They hit on nothing.
So let me
Can
give
you
it
read
to you.
it? Yeah.
Okay, you ready? So the Wayne Gretzky trade at the deadline, LA to St. Louis in 1996. Forwards Craig Johnson. Craig Johnson,
Ah, yeah.
American ice hockey player, second round pick of the Blues in 1990. Career high 38 points for the LA Kings the next season. That's the best it got. Then Roman Vopat.
That's who I was thinking of. I knew it
Unforgettable
started
name.
with a V.
He was a 7th rounder. His career high in points was 9. And then they also got a first round pick, which is Matt Zoltek. Matt
Oh, yes.
Zoltek.
I remember spending a bunch of time on him.
Matt Zoltek did not play in the NHL.
No, he didn't.
And a 5th round pick, Peter Hogan.
I remembered 0 of those names. My thing is trade trees and remembering names.
Peter Hogan also never played in the NHL.
It's a hunk of shit trade.
It's a terrible trade.
It's really
Wow.
bad.
That's one of the worst trades in NHL history right
It's
there.
really
no one
bad.
talks about that among the worst trades in history, but that's got to be up there. Best
How
player
do you-
in history
You got nothing
for
for Gretzky?
nothing. That's worse than the Raptors, what they got for Vince Carter.
Yeah,
That's why the McDavid deal won't be that like crazy, you know? Like
know?
when McDavid's eventually move.
think how much better they'll get defensively.
Yeah. And it's gonna look a lot better than the Gretzky move.
You know, someone's gonna yes.
Think how much better the Oilers would get defensively when McDavid's
according to
traded.
the charts,
Oh, man.
anybody in the NHL playing for the Oilers would be better defensively than Connor
Labushkin
McDavid.
would be better at center
Yeah.
than Connor McDavid.
Your
on
team will
defense.
improve if you don't play Connor McDavid.
I do think-
That's what the chart
I
says.
do think that context is key with those
No,
charts.
no, don't give any context with your numbers.
Adam.
Just point them out.
Am I being serious or deliberately misunderstanding the point because it's funny? We'll never know.
Yo, you know what's shocking about that too is the amount of people who deliberately misunderstand something just so they can be mad at you.
Oh yeah.
It's shocking.
Oh yeah.
It's mind blowing. By the way, Edmonton, don't worry, Connor's still the best player on earth. I'm just saying right now
No.
he's not. Okay, fair enough.
I also like the people who are just so mad that they take runs at the players. Like there's a whole bunch of people just making fun of Matthews for running into the post. It's like, oh, you're just here to take digs at professional athletes because you're upset.
Yeah, I actually thought his response to that was funny.
Yeah.
So good.
I just felt like I'd put my face through a post.
Yeah, you know, I just see what happens. I thought
His lips are huge, by the way.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
It really God, it looked so painful and he was saying how he was having trouble eating and bleh.
Mhm.
But I thought when I saw the first Blues goal, because it was they sort of caught all 3 members of the top line deep. And I was like, oh, Oilers fans are going to jump all over Matthews for this one because it's bad defense. Nothing.
That would require like watching the game and understanding where the position everybody should be in position and seeing that defensive play and how Matthews wasn't back and getting his man. Like that would require a lot of thinking.
We're dedicating way too much energy towards this.
Yeah,
I know.
nobody's doing thinking.
Bill Armstrong, by the way, has done a very interesting job of rebuilding what the Coyotes lost in the shakedown, as we should have called it.
Oh.
It should have been called the shakedown.
The-
Shake. It should have been. They should serve that at Wendy's. He's a board member at the Shake.
Oh my God,
Um,
that would sell so poorly.
So no, my thinking here is like, look at. So here's what they've done. Do you see it? You have the
we have the cap friendly.
You do have it up.
No,
No. So I'm looking at this.
Jesse's showing me all their picks, and it looks like a Wordle.
It does.
They have so many.
So here's the thing. They've got over 10 picks in the last little bit here. Montreal or Carolina's first, Colorado's first, San Jose's second, New York Islanders second, Philadelphia's second, Vancouver's second, and that's just this year. And then in 2024, Florida second, Montreal second, Toronto's 2025th or their third in 2023. They got a conditional pick from the Islanders and from Colorado, San Jose, St. Louis, Vancouver. And you know what's going to be interesting with the Coyotes too? And I know we've all taken our shots about the Arizona State University thing. We did sort of mention on the show that it will be a very cool place to watch hockey. And I heard from a couple of students that are going to ASU this year, and they're like, we're really excited.
Sure.
The one thing, though, if you're going to capture that audience, and this is what they need to do, right? Make that place a party zone. You've seen the NCAA. You've seen what a party those games are to go to. Make that place fun and make the team at least watchable.
They need to embrace the students, though, because one thing that we sort of read might happen is, well, there's not many seats. Okay, seats will be expensive. You can't do that to students.
No, why would they do that?
Because they need to pretend like they're a professional sports team and try to generate income.
Do they want to have a future?
You asking the NHL to make something fun, that makes me laugh.
I'm sorry.
This won't...
Maybe that was stupid.
I have no faith that it'll be fun. They're going to find a way to ruin the best atmosphere ever in pro sports.
Can we go?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I want to see this.
I would like to do an SDPN trip to
And they're going to ruin it.
And we'll get booed. The one thing I want to know
We'll
with
get
the
booed?
Coyotes...
Why would we get booed?
Because we're going to go to the Leafs game. We're going to wear Leafs jerseys.
Oh, okay.
So I want to see... So the Coyotes have already made capfriendly.com do something I've never seen before, where they had to stack their second-round picks.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think a team since the making of Cap Friendly has ever had 5 picks in one round.
Didn't Montreal have 4?
They did have 4. They had 4 seconds. The Coyotes have 5 right now. But Cap Friendly only shows picks for 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
The
know
Leafs
why they
pick's
do that.
not there.
Yeah.
Because
it's a 2025.
they got to figure out how to code into the site.
I didn't even know you could trade beyond 3 years.
I thought it was illegal. I didn't know you could do it.
Maybe it's the
you
conditional.
should have asked the general manager who sits on this show, because as a GM, I have traded picks well into the future because you can do it in NHL 22 franchise.
It's a video game.
Yeah, but it mirrors real life.
Not necessarily. Chicago's good.
In the same way Red Dead Redemption mirrors real life.
I set up
does.
the settings.
You can have assorted salted offal. Beans.
You can set the settings pre-franchise mode to be real life settings, and that means everything needs to be cap compliant and
But-
by the books.
Have you unlocked your second BlackBerry, Jesse? It's my question.
No, that was previous games.
I know. Remember that? That was
yeah.
a big deal. Well, I could get 2 trades at once.
Yeah.
'Cause
You get 6 Blackberries, I think was the max.
I think
Yeah.
that was.
Yeah.
And they were, hey, do you want to unlock 6 Blackberries so you can get offered more bad trades?
Yeah.
The trades are always so bad.
We would like your second line center for a 6th, please.
It was never worth it.
Florida. It was always Florida. Frig off.
Sorry, Jesse, you were saying.
Oh, no, I'm just saying. I knew that because of the game.
My favorite-
Video games are awesome.
My
They teach you
favorite thing.
things.
Oh, yeah.
My favorite thing that Steve ever did. He ranted about this one, our first season on the podcast, and
It
he
made
talked
me
about
mad.
this because you spent all that time in the minors. You did
In
a full
junior!
full time in the
So
junior.
you're talking about be a pro mode.
Yeah, be a pro.
Yeah.
Spends all his time in junior, lights it up, gets drafted by the Florida Panthers.
First overall.
And they traded Markstrom, who had a huge potential at that point, which rightfully
Yeah.
so. And they traded him for Cal Clutterbuck.
Cal Clutterbuck straight up. So our starter was Scott Clemenson.
Career backup, Scott
And
Clemenson.
as a defenseman, you can imagine how upset that made me.
Oh my God.
Honestly, when they made that trade, I was like, I hate this. And I lasted 5 games into the next season, and I went, enough.
What year NHL was this?
I think it was 13 or 14.
Yeah,
way
13 or
back
14.
I remember
Yeah.
that was the last time I actually had time to play a full season. I played all 82, and I was or 60 something or whatever with the
You were the
Mooseheads. Mooseheads. So I was with
Nice.
McKinnon and Drouin.
You were
And
McDavid.
yeah, basically.
The worst defensive player in
Yeah.
the league, but a net positive.
100 goals, 75 assists. I remember the numbers being so even. I was like, ooh, that's so refreshing to look
Dash
at.
2.
Yeah.
But the game, when you get the 9-game tryout or whatever with your NHL team, you'll score 10 goals in 2 games,
Yeah.
and they'll send you down.
We'd like you to season your game.
It's so stupid.
Yeah, I remember once too. I didn't know that you had to turn the injury thing down. So I remember one time I got drafted by the Blackhawks, and the first game I got a hernia, was out for 4 months, and then so I simmed up. And then the next game, I played through it, scored 3 goals, everything's going well. The next game, knee injury out for the season. And you're like, what the fuck is happening here?
I swear on everything that this is true. I'm almost positive it was November. NHL 2001. Owen Nolan on the cover. I played it so many seasons into the future that basically all my team was creative players.
That's cool.
But there was a young player still in the league named Aki Berg. He was on another team, and he was out because you could read other teams' injury reports. He was out for 8 months with a ruptured testicle. It was in the game. I swear.
We should message Rammer and see if that's actually true.
I assume that's very Googleable.
No, I did look it up, and I'm pretty sure there is evidence of people going, I saw a ruptured testicle too. You can imagine how hard I laughed. As a
10, 12-year-old? 11-year-old?
Yeah, 12, 13, something like that. Oh, this is the height of comedy. And the only thing that made me upset is I was home alone.
And nobody to share it with.
And no one to share it with. And I couldn't take a picture with my phone just to be like, check it out. It says testicle.
Ruptured testicle. Wow.
Can't find it. You're lying.
Look up ruptured testicle, Jesse.
I typed in ruptured testicle NHL. Nothing.
You see the Finnish guy with a broken penis? Wow, dead silence after that, huh?
5th overall pick with
really
a broken
drive it
penis, by the way.
What?
He was a 5th overall pick.
Oh,
no, you're talking about the Olympics.
I'm talking about the actual Olympian who had a frozen penis.
Yeah, with the I was watching that race. I was like, I that was the one event I caught, honestly, was the cross country one. I'm like, this sport, do you ever watch the cross country skiing and go, this sport looks like hell. Why does anyone do this?
Yes. That's most Olympic sports.
Especially the winter ones.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Most Olympic sports are, where do you even begin to get good at this?
True. Yeah, I didn't get it. But anyway, it's impressive. And what I thought those guys would have super thick legs like the speed skaters. In fact, they're like Jesse, just thin and lean
and 6'5"
and sinewy. Yes, and 6'5", and like when they like widen themselves to like push off, you realize how like long they're just long. They're like Kevin Durant, like the huge wingspan. Crazy.
No, you can achieve anything. Is the myth that the Olympics always dispels.
Right. Yeah. You can achieve anything if you're about 6'4".
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm going to compete with Michael Phelps, who was shaped like a stingray. He's literally shaped like a stingray.
And his I forget, is that which part of his body that can extend an overly amount like that?
It's his lats.
Yeah,
lats right here.
They can go further than most humans.
Like his lats paddle for him.
And he was born like that. That's unfair.
Size trash can lid feet. Oh yeah, kids, don't worry. You can do it too.
I interviewed Penny Alexiak when she was 16.
Also shaped like a stingray.
And Penny Alexiak was taller than me at 16. She's like 6'2". And it was so funny. I was talking to her. I'm like, talking to her at the beginning of her career. I'm like, this seems like it's wrong. I said, I read that you didn't really start swimming until you were 12 or 13. And she's like, yeah.
Oh yeah.
She's like, they pointed me. I guess a trainer said, that person has a swimmer's body. Mm-hmm. You should swim. And she did and kicked everyone's ass. And it was like, wow. Now, it doesn't mean she didn't train hard, but some people are just, predisposed to it.
When I went to Ryerson, I remember the first month I was on campus, they were recruiting people for the rowing team. And a dude just walked up to me. He's like, can you please join the rowing team? Because you're going to be good at it because you have the body for it. I was like, nah, I'm not going to do that. But it was just the same philosophy. They just
You got recruited?
They spotted people on campus, just anybody who looks like they have the just physical makeup to be good at rowing, and they were trying to get them to join the team.
That's a different life. Adam and I were never recruited. No. Sports.
Never recruited, never hit on. It's just, a lot of stuff Jesse got that we didn't get.
Yeah.
I think the funny thing is
no one went, hey, you look like you'd be good at sports.
No one went, hey, you look like you'd be good.
Yeah.
At anything.
Yeah, I didn't get you to look smart either.
No.
So it's just, hey, you're student.
I just wish Jesse had more team spirit, though. Think of where the Rams racing boat could have gone.
Those Ryerson Rams could have had me.
You could have been Cambridge versus Oxford in the UK with a bunch of people with big hats waving you on.
There was, Reimer didn't play organized hockey until he was 12.
Yep.
I think there was a player in the WHL who only had played roller hockey up until the age of 14. And he ended up playing in the dub.
Do you remember Joe Mullen? Until recently,
top scoring American player
ever.
Yeah.
He didn't start playing hockey, like strap-on skates, till he was 12. And he was so good, but he played with Yager and Lemieux and Francis and that he kind of got buried, but he was incredible in Pittsburgh.
And as Canadians, we should all be ashamed that we're forgetting this name. I remember seeing a NFL interview recently. They asked Tyreek Hill, they're like, have you ever lost a race? And he's like, oh yeah, I lost a race. They're like, to who? He goes, this guy on, I think he called him the wrong name.
Yeah.
But it was Andre DeGrasse. Because Andre DeGrasse was a basketball player, and they're like, you're not very good at this. You should try running, though. And he's like, okay. And he tried running in high school, and now he's like the fastest man on the planet.
Wow.
Literally. One of them. Yeah.
There's also, if you watch the scouting combines for the NFL, and I did one year, you see guys running like in 10 seconds what they can run with 300 pounds on them. It's insane. You should watch the defensive players who are 300 pounds running in a straight. They'd kick all of our asses.
I still there's a great clip of a coach reacting to Jadeveon Clowney's combine.
Okay.
And he's just looking at him like, what the fuck am I watching? And I'm pretty sure it was a former NFL player who was watching him just like, okay, well, I could never do that.
The NBA All-Star weekend was this past weekend, and on Friday they had this celebrity game where they do the celebrity basketball game, which they should do for hockey. Like, I don't know why the NHL doesn't have the celebrity hockey game. Anyways, but one of the, I forget the defensive end who was playing in the NBA celebrity game, and he was dunking.
Yeah.
And he's an offensive end. He's probably, I don't know, 270, like only 6 feet or something. But he got up for all of these dunks, and it's unbelievable to see these skill in these athletes who have so much mass. Like, you don't realize how big these football players are, but also how explosive they are.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
It's crazy.
They did that race back in the day where it was like Pele and Gretzky and all that. I want to see that. I want to see the fastest soccer player, fastest basketball player, fastest NFL player, fastest sprinter. None of this stupid shit where they have a giraffe.
I wonder how much
which exists.
The off ice, like how fast is Connor McDavid off ice?
So, okay, we've talked about this many times. He's not the fastest at the 100-meter dash, but he's the fastest at, they have this thing where the track is one lane and straight, but it breaks into two, and there's lights, and you got to run towards whatever light comes on. Supposedly, he is the best at that.
Reaction time.
That makes sense.
The thing about Connor McDavid that's impressive too, it's like I remember a player for Calgary. He was like a first round pick. Rico Fata. I don't know if you remember him.
Oh yeah.
He was the fastest player in the NHL, but the problem was he couldn't skate with the puck, so it's useless.
He was a hilarious video game player.
Yeah, it was insane playing with him.
He was like a 59 overall, 100 speed, 0 everything else.
Yeah. So if you could manage to hang on the puck in the video game, you were going to score. Connor McDavid with the puck, and that just tells it's the fast twitch muscle fibers, right? Mm-hmm. That's gift. It's gift, and obviously you have to develop that. But I mean, that's amazing.
And his brain is just processes information faster than everyone else.
Yeah, no big deal. Just Connor McDavid.
So I thought the trade was good for the Leafs.
Yeah, it was.
Great trade.
Hey, Steve and Jesse, do you like to eat?
Yes.
Do you like to get farm fresh, pre-proportioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep?
Yes.
Do
you like to skip steps from the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make cooking fast, fun, and affordable?
Skip steps to my loo.
That's right. America's #1 meal kit is HelloFresh, and you need to get it. HelloFresh delivers pre-portioned ingredients to your door. Farm fresh produce arriving within the week, every week, so you can have convenience without skipping out on quality. Skip the trip to the grocery store. Save those long wait times in line. You don't need that anymore.
No.
You need HelloFresh. Now, here's what you need to do. Go to HelloFresh.com/SDP16 and you use the code, what, Steve?
It's not goodbye rotten.
SDP16. That's right. For you to get 16 free meals and 3 free gifts. Again, it's the promo code
SDP16.
Thank you.
Did I do good?
Yes. HelloFresh.com/SDP16. Enjoy America's #1 meal kit. It's a new year, but if it's feeling harder than ever to find and hire qualified people that you need for your small business, LinkedIn Jobs is where you need to go. They make it easier to find the people you want to talk to faster and for free. So you can create your free job post in minutes on LinkedIn Jobs and reach a network of over 770 million people. That's kind of a big network.
It blew your mind. I heard
did.
it in real time.
I did. Focus on candidates with the right job skills and experience and use screening questions. Like what? Give me a screening question, Steve.
What's your name?
There you go.
That's a good one.
I
hope you ask everybody.
Get your role in front of the most qualified people, like people who can name themselves. Then you can use simple tools that LinkedIn Jobs actually has, which are a lot deeper than what Steve expressed there, to quickly filter and prioritize who you'd like to interview and hire. It's why small businesses rate LinkedIn Jobs #1 in delivering quality hires versus leading competitors. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the candidates you want to talk to faster. Did you know that every week nearly 40 million job seekers visit LinkedIn? Did you, Steve?
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
No.
no, it's good.
Imagine if I knew that. That'd be so good.
What's the promo code, Jesse?
SDP.
SDP. So you post your jobs for free at linkedin.com/SDP. That's linkedin.com/SDP to post your job for free. It even rhymes. Terms and conditions apply. Hey, are you thinking about upgrading your vehicle in 2022?
Oh, I've thought about it, but how do I make it a reality?
Edmunds is how you make it a reality.
Yes.
Let's say you want to upgrade to a truck, like I did a couple of years ago.
Man.
And now you park your truck on the sidewalk.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I walked up to Adam's house today and I saw his truck. The back wheel was right on the sidewalk.
You don't know how to park?
I know how to park. But when you have a truck, you need to park harder.
Yeah.
That's right.
Fair.
And you can find one on Edmunds. Car shopping can already be confusing and a stressful process. Just ask Steve when he tried to buy his last Mazda. In 2022, finding the right car will be even trickier due to inventory shortages. You know this. So Edmunds goes the extra mile to make car buying easier for shoppers like you. With honest car reviews, video test drives, online shopping tools, and the latest in consumer advice. Over 50 years of trusted car research, shopping advice, and price guidances all in one place. You want to go to Edmunds.com. That's EDMUNDS.com. Edmunds, we drive it like it is. So this is interesting, and I'm actually surprised that this was still the case, but it does show that bare minimum progress is being made. Bobby Hull is no longer a Blackhawks ambassador. Obviously, the Hawks have asked Stan Mikita, Tony Esposito, Denny Savard, and Bobby Hull back in the day if they would come on and be ambassadors, because the Blackhawks, I think a lot like the Leafs, have punished their fans so much in their history rather than rewarded them. And the Blackhawks, especially in the 60s or the 70s and 80s, when TV started to come in, and Bill Wirtz Sr. was like just a tough guy. And do you remember in the Brian Burke book what Brian said about Bill Wirtz?
Help me.
He said that when Gary Bettman took over as commissioner, Bill Wirtz used to just interrupt him. He'd be in the middle of saying, and Bill Wirtz would, because Bill Wirtz essentially was de facto.
Oh, weird.
I know.
Jesus.
It's funny how that gets passed down.
Are you saying interrupting runs in the family? He essentially ran the league for a long time, Bill Wirtz. And so I guess
just a history of no accountability.
On Monday it was learned that the Hawks decided to part ways with Hull late in November. With the passing of Mikita in 2018 and Esposito in 2021, only Savard and Chris Chelios, who was added in 2018, remain with the program. So what they said was, we are redefining the role of team ambassador, which unfortunately comes on the heels of losing two very special members of our family. When it comes to Bobby specifically, we jointly agreed earlier this season that he will retire from that team official role. Now, listen, it's all out there, public record. But Bob,
can we leave it at he's a tough Google?
Yeah.
Bobby Hull is a tough Google.
Bobby Hull is it's sort of surprising that he was ever even asked.
No, it's not, because he scored a big bunch of goals. But listen, in the midst of my big Rocky Wirtz rant, I was accused of, trying to cancel people all the time. I'm not here to try to cancel this old man, but
here it is.
Everyone makes mistakes, but
two former wives accused him of domestic abuse, and in 1998, he was quoted as saying Adolf Hitler had some good ideas, but went a little too far.
He was also quoted. Do you have the?
And then he later told the LA Times that the comments were false and defamatory.
In the same, I think maybe the same interview, he said that
yeah.
the black population of the United States was growing too fast.
And that genetic breeding was a good idea.
I don't have time for Bobby Orr.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Shit, I didn't know that one.
You don't make a mistake with those words.
Yeah, like we're not stepping out of line by saying he's a bad guy that you probably shouldn't
And that
associate
was
with.
that's the thing was that was sort of well known, like that was out there.
Yeah,
It's just that it had been so long that people sort of forgot, you know?
Right. It's been over 20 years.
Yeah, and so probably a good idea for them to disassociate.
he was in a commercial like promoting the league like 3 years ago with
Was he?
with Brett Hall. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's time.
Yep.
There is a statue of him outside the United Center.
Yep, they ain't taking that down. Telling you right now.
Maybe one day.
Maybe one day.
We've seen a lot of statues from bygone eras come down this year.
Yeah.
Maybe in 30 years, 40 years, somebody recognizes and they pull up these quotes and they take down statues.
They haven't taken down a lot of statues of living people.
Yeah.
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 It's not happening. Not yet.
I've been saddened, but also like super. I guess I don't know if there's a positive spin here, but the amount of Blackhawks fans who've reached out and said, "I don't know if I can be a fan anymore, but I love hockey," and just said like, "I just need you to know that." Like, it's funny. Some of them like, I'm not even expecting a response, but I felt the need to message you and say we're absolutely devastated and. We don't know what it would take for us to even get back in the United Center.
Yeah.
And
I know people who bailed years ago. Like before this even broke.
Oh, really?
On the Blackhawks specifically, yeah.
Yeah.
Listen,
what I want here and what we talked about a few weeks ago was, okay, so now all this shit's happened. Now I want to see change.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
No, you don't need to see change. That's for us. We know what change is going to happen.
Don't ask me about
Don't
change.
ask me about change. No, that's what we saw a couple of weeks ago, Adam. Like
I know. What I was saying was I wanted us to. I do want this to get better.
What do you want?
I want this to
I
get
know
better.
what I want.
that, but if Adam was your son.
Yeah. God.
Daddy Jesse.
Zero hyperbole.
That's where we left this. That's where we left this team.
I know. Okay, do you want to go to something cooler and more fun?
Yeah.
Sorry.
So we talked about.
For what?
They make me upset.
Oh, yeah. No,
I think they make a lot of people
they
upset.
kind of suck
Except
a
for
lot.
And there's like 3 people running like a few Twitter accounts who are like, "Oh, the Blackhawks did nothing wrong."
What about this team? Yeah, no, I agree. That's also bad.
Also bad.
It's not a great defense when it's also bad.
Yeah. So I sent you 3 tweets, Jesse, in one email, and then one in another. So we're gonna run through these because Steve Dangle Podcast listeners are undefeated, and they sent me a bunch of my reverse retro jersey ideas, and I think it looks pretty spectacular. So the first one I got was from Tanui. How great does that look? So we were talking about.
I want that.
And I wasn't saying it even reverts retros. This should be the 3rd jersey for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
I want that in my house right now.
This should be the 3rd jersey right now.
And
it should be the 3rd jersey forever. Just leave it.
It's white on
White
the
shoulders?
outside
Yeah,
of the
for
sleeves.
everybody listening.
Yeah, white shoulders, white collar with the blue old leaf and like the 90s leaf, which was a little bit different than the 2000s leaf, but the same idea. And smack dab in the middle, the current leaf.
Right. So you're the current crest, like the current logo on an 80s jersey. That's all it is.
So good.
And you can look up the 80s jersey if you want to see it. Another one. Can you go on to the next one there,
God,
Jesse?
that jersey rules.
I liked this one because it actually has the patches from the Heritage Classic on it. And how great does that look with Tavares?
Also very good.
Really nice,
It's
right?
This is a great one.
Only slightly different. And a white stripe at the bottom. I don't know if we said that.
Yeah, the other one had a white stripe too. Because again, it's the exact copy of that jersey. And then the third one is a Dangle Navy alternate jersey, which I really liked. It has a crab people crest on the left shoulder and an SDPN Leaf logo on the right. How great is that? I feel like we need to make that.
Big
That's
fan.
Sick.
Yeah. Well, we got to make some alterations to, not get sued and stuff.
We wouldn't get sued for that.
For the Leafs?
No, a maple leaf isn't copyrighted.
Yeah, you can't copyright it.
We don't have. There's no.
A blue maple leaf is not copyrighted.
Yeah.
You can do that. So
As
this
long-
one is,
yeah.
it just has the Dangle
take it.
Navy. It has the Dangle Navy crest, but here's the great thing about this Dangle Navy. It's got the anchor, but the anchor is also the CN Tower.
Oh!
Like, how cool is that?
Because
And it
we're
says SDPN
Toronto
on it.
homers.
Well, we are.
Yeah. I mean, for sure. Oh God, that's a really
Isn't that
nice
really
jersey.
well thought out? That is from Eric Cooley. And at Puck Guy 14, he works for Teal Town USA. I've been on his podcast.
Oh,
really
yeah,
nice guy.
yeah.
Like, this is a guy who's not even a fan of the Leafs.
He's a Sharks fan.
Gorgeous jersey though, gorgeous. So I was hoping I wanted to feature all these, and then
We got one more.
Then this one's a really interesting one. This is from 1967 Champs. Now, what I love about this one is it's the 30s Leafs jersey with the stripes, the striping, and it's got the red Toronto Maple Leafs logoing. So if you actually look at a Toronto Maple Leafs logo from the early 50s, it's the Toronto Maple Leafs, like the actual physical words, are not in blue. They're in red.
Right.
That's how they used to do it.
The jersey is blue.
The jersey is blue, but the actual writing is in red. How cool is that? It's the current crest with some stripes, 3 stripes at the bottom, 3 stripes on the shoulders, 3 stripes on the elbows, and really, really simple. And with a captaincy, it's a Tavares jersey. How great is that?
That's a great one.
I love it. It's kind of wild how similar at one time the Leafs and Habs jerseys were.
Yeah.
Because remember, they had the Leaf as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a really good
It's a
jersey.
gorgeous jersey.
It's a really gorgeous
So
jersey.
I'm wondering, Brendan Shanahan, who I know pays attention to Twitter because he tweeted the Martin Marincin gif. Where the,
Hilarious.
you didn't think
Olympic
Martin Marincin would
medalist.
appear in your comments, but you were wrong. I know they're paying attention. I know they hear us. I know you do. Please do this. Please do this. This is what we want.
They screwed up.
They did.
They screwed
again,
up.
their jersey's not bad. It's just not a wower.
Yeah.
And I want it to be a wow. This is Toronto Maple Leafs. We should wow people.
They could have done a lot better. And just seeing like these ideas, like the people here did great jobs, and they're not the professionals doing the jerseys, you know? Like, why couldn't the professionals who are in charge of this come up with fun, creative ideas like this?
Can I give you Steve's overthinking it for this one?
What's
Please.
up?
Sometimes I wonder if people put ideas for jerseys onto Twitter and then teams go, fuck, now we can't use it.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Why not?
That's
Just hire
interesting.
the person and pay them. They have all the money in the world.
That's kind of how I look at it. I don't know.
Like,
That's-
okay, if you look
that's
at
a really good point.
okay, if you look at who we've hired at this network, like we hired some people
Mm-hmm.
like Robert.
Mm-hmm.
What's Robert's story? Robert, who runs our Discord, runs our social team.
Robert was a fan, and we were like, hey, you know how to do things. You want to do them for
But
us?
he started doing what?
Captions on
Oh,
Steve's video.
caption. Yeah.
And how did that
was the
happen?
first
He
thing.
just did it because he wanted to, right?
Pretty much. I don't really remember how that came to be, but I was like, hey, this is a thing you could do, right? And he was like, yep.
And then this
And then he
summer,
did.
I got a DM from him about something called Discord, which I'd never heard of, that he and Jesse were putting together. And I was like, okay, I guess I'll sign up for that. Now we have 10,000 people in it. He runs it 24/7.
Wild.
But this is the thing. If they're good at it, hire them.
Mm-hmm.
Those are 4 good ideas right there.
There's that sort of a gelling of the last 2 topics, but there's that. Have you seen that alternate Blackhawks logo? That's a bird.
No.
Oh, really good. Yeah, look that up. Supposedly, I don't know. I keep hearing rumors that the Blackhawks may someday adopt it. It's really good.
Oh,
Look at that.
Jesse,
Yeah,
I'll send it to you.
it
I'll
to
send it to
Jesse.
you. I'll send it to you. Sorry. You know what? Just search alternate Blackhawks logo bird. Probably faster.
I can.
That is gorgeous.
Yeah, I don't know. Adam, can you describe it?
So it's it's got the feathers obviously in it, kind of like the original Blackhawks, but it's actually a Black Hawk.
Yes. With so it's got
Did
the
they
orange.
use this?
I don't think they did. So it's got the orange feather, yellow, green, and red, but it's an actual bird.
I think
this isn't a good description
gorgeous.
of it. you gotta
Well,
watch the
imagine-
YouTube.
Oh, it's
but
only a concept, yeah.
It's a concept.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah, no, they didn't come up with it as far as I know.
Yeah.
No, it was an artist. I don't remember the story of the artist and everything, but it's a sick logo.
Stunning.
Yeah, really
Love
good
that.
logo.
Yeah. Look, this is kind of fun though, right? Like, you know, you get to and look at. I'm just looking at the concept on a jersey. Like, cool.
I don't know about the rest of that jersey. The
No,
logo's good though.
It's too Vancouver. That jersey's a little too Vancouver
It's
Canucks.
the Chicago Canucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think, you know, there's so many places they could have gone. I was hoping for something more exciting, but maybe if they were playing a different team other than Buffalo, they would have put a little more effort to it.
Sabres jerseys are sexy as hell.
I actually like the Sabres one.
They're really good. You know what? Their last 2, they've done very good.
Yep.
And all the names are spelled right and stuff. They're really improving.
By the way, you know how certain things are retro and certain things are just old? Okay?
Sure.
The Buffalo Slug is never allowed to be retro. It can only
No.
just be a mistake that's old.
I don't think the Stars have ever brought back the Mooterus.
Oh my God. Or the Vancouver Canucks Deep V from the 80s with the Cooperalls.
See, even that.
The pant skates? No, you can't.
I don't
bring
know
that.
if that belongs in the same bad conversation.
It's bad. You know why they said it was supposed to strike fear into the hearts of the opponents? That's what they actually thought.
Yeah, and how'd that go?
The Canucks were pretty bad in the 80s.
A yellow and orange V. No, not
Terrible.
quite. Yeah, no, it wasn't good.
Okay. Anyway, shall we do the press conference?
Sure.
Some things are just old.
The Presser. SDP. The Steve Dangle Press Conference.
Today, this Chris Johnson show comes out.
Yes.
There's a lot of trade talk. Do you want to go through that, Steve? Because you kind of paved the way for them to have these discussions on the show today.
Everybody Everybody calls me the overreaching boss. And Steve's in there going, how about you talk about this, Chris Johnson?
Okay, explain this.
We have a... No, I'm just joking.
No, explain what you're talking about.
No, so we have a WhatsApp conversation for every show, right?
That I was finally allowed into.
Yeah, well, I mean, we had to make sure that everything was legal. And so Steve was like, hey, how about you? And then and they were great ideas. Yeah. But I was like, hey, if everybody could see that I am not the power-hungry maniac making Andrew work when he's got COVID kind of guy that people make me out to be.
Well, here are my two options with this show, for example. There's come in and ask nothing and we record the show. Or sometimes I go, hey, Adam, make sure we get this in. And Adam looks at me like, you fucking peasants, it's already in.
Not always.
And so, well,
not always.
And for Chris and Julian, I asked them to talk about a few topics that I figured they would talk about anyway. But I just wanted to make sure because I thought it would be a better listening experience for our audience. Did they talk about those things?
I don't know.
Oh, you suck.
All right.
I want to listen to that show so bad. Is it up yet? Why not?
No.
Why not?
No, it'll be up when you are listening to this podcast. The CJ show will be up, though.
Okay.
You, Steve, cannot listen to it right now.
No!
Yesterday, around 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time, the Montreal Canadiens won a game. It was their
10th of the year.
It was the first time all season that they won back-to-back games, and their starting goaltender for the game was Andrew the Hamburglar Hammond. First win since 2018. Great pickup for them just to get a goalie who's motivated and wants to play a little.
You interviewed Andrew Hammond years ago, didn't you?
Yes.
And his wife?
No. Just him when he was with remember he was part of the Sens organization and he was with their minor league team Belleville and he was traded to the Avalanche, but he just stayed there.
Stayed in Belleville? Yeah.
He stayed there and then the Avalanche ended up needing him in the playoffs and he was really good.
Yeah.
But no, I got to talk to him and he was like, my back is sore. And I was like, my back is sore. Tell me about your sore back. And that interview is still up on sportsnet.ca.
There you go.
Sorry. Him and JF Berube won games for the first time in like over 1,500 days or something like that, or over 1,000 days on the same night. Pretty cool.
Didn't even know JF Berube was still playing. It's funny when you see Zach Fucali's name popping around too, like he's almost going to make it.
His first, he had the shutout streak going.
That's right.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. And who had the shutout, or who owns the all-time shutout streak? Brian Boucher.
Brian Boucher?
Yep.
Like Flyers Brian Boucher?
Yep. But he was with the Coyotes.
What?
Yep. You just never know.
Wow.
You
Definitely do not know.
Who owns the record? You should know this. Who owns the record for most saves in a shutout?
Felix Potvin.
Nope.
Most saves in a shutout. Tuukka Rask.
Ben Scrivens.
Oh, God.
Scrivezina.
Scrivezina. He fucking was Scrivezina that night.
For the Leafs?
No, 59 saves for the Oilers in a 3-0 win over the Sharks.
That was the Dallas Eakins Oilers, and I think that was the same year that Taylor Hall threw a water bottle and sprayed Dallas Eakins, and they got mad at each other.
I think it might have been.
It was a bad year.
That was
bad year.
Unbelievable. That was everyone. I was doing highlights at CBC that night, and everyone just stopped what they were doing by late in the second period because they're like, have the Sharks still not scored?
Mm-hmm.
And we were watching it. Yeah, it was a great game. Great game.
Correction from last episode when we were doing the Brock Besser deal. I said he was a UFA, but he's an RFA. And the qualifying offer for Besser is $7.5 million. So that is the large motivation for trading it.
To me, that's worse. Like, to me, it's increased motivation.
Yeah.
It's worse that his qualifying offer is 7.5 than it would be if he was a UFA.
Right. So that's why.
Yes, you retain the player, but
the Canucks are kind of desperate to move him because they don't want to pay that price.
It's kind of tough.
This first question comes from Blake S. Blake _S. No relation to me. Also, if you're not a member of our Discord already, go join it.
Eat shit. Oh, yeah. No.
Link is on stpn.ca. Adam, you and I had a donut bet, according to Blake _S.
Okay.
Is the donut bet still on for Adam versus Jesse in the Olympics? I can't recall exactly what episode, but I know a donut bet was brought up for the Olympics. Also, I would love to see the supercut at the end of the year for Game Over lost intros from Andrew.
I keep saying I want to make that. And they're like, Jesse's like, I don't know, it's a little depressing. I'm like, come on.
No, because we already did one.
Do it again.
Like, okay, just fucking play the hits.
Play the hits. Hit them again.
All right. So we, because
we were betting on who was going to win the gold medal, and I took the field and you guys took Canada.
We took Team Canada. But that was
with the NHLers.
The NHL players.
Yeah.
So is the donut bet off?
No, it's off.
Okay.
You can't.
Sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen,
you won.
Yeah, but I didn't.
Okay.
The NHLers weren't there. So
Okay.
We should give congratulations to Finland, by the way.
Yeah.
Finland's men's team.
Uncle Leo playing piano afterwards, ripping it on the keys. Did you see that?
We should also give congratulations to Andrew Berkshire, who completed Game Over
come
International.
on. Like him and so Omar subbing in on the weekends was amazing. Andrew Berkshire, MVP.
Oh.
Like, holy shit. And I know he's exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
And I know one of those days was his birthday. I think it was Friday.
Yep.
And Andrew Berkshire, cannot say enough about the job that Andrew did. If you have the chance, tweet Andrew and tell him he's very sexy.
Like,
super sexy.
No maintenance.
No, he just did it.
He just did it.
He's amazing. Yeah. Andrew, we love working with you, buddy. Well done. Amazing stuff.
Yeah.
Incredible. What else we got?
We got a question here from Good Randy on the Discord. Is Dzingel a Kerfoot replacement for when they move Kerfoot for a second pairing guy?
That thought briefly occurred to me because Dzingel can sort of play all three positions, but not really. I mean, he's kind of a downgrade on Kerfoot, which you're not really going for heading into the playoffs, are you?
But is it a downgrade, but you upgrade the D?
Like you trade Kerfoot for someone who helps on the second pair.
Right. You take away a little offense to improve the defense.
I don't mind having him in the lineup, but I wouldn't slot him into Kerfoot slot. Like I'd rather put like Mikheyev there or something like that. You're not getting me jacked about this idea. I like where your mind's at, but I'm not jacked about it.
That's not it.
He could play. Like if he clears waivers today, that's good news for the Leafs. I don't give a shit what they pay him to play for the Marlies. It's not my money.
Yeah.
You know.
I know Kerfoot's name comes up in trade talks a lot. I'm probably guilty of it too. But like, as much as I'm not always sold on what he does, I know when he does stuff, it's a lot better than the stuff that most players can do.
Yeah, I think the reason because his name goes in and out of trade talks, and the reason it's in is crystal clear. That line's not producing right now, but I wouldn't call it his fault.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he does. Man, he fills a lot of holes for this team, and he's a key part of that penalty kill. And it's every time we talk about trading him, we get to for what.
Well,
and that's where I get stuck.
And his deal's up at the end of this season, is it not?
I think he's got one more year.
Is it a 4-year deal he was on? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
3.5.
Well, like, and that's the thing is he's a guy who can skate with those guys. Like, who else plays in that spot on that left side? And it was nice to see Willie get a couple by the way.
Yeah. 10-game goalless.
Yeah. And they were
9.
great.
9.
Great shots. Great shots.
On a goalie who's hard as hell to beat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, it was really good.
Mm-hmm.
That left wing.
I mean, they could use a left wing. Is it Hagel? Is he the Chicago guy that's a left winger?
Yeah, that's That price is tough. That price is really tough.
Your price is tough.
Goddamn right.
Maybe Kerfoot goes over.
Something there. I don't know why the hell the Blackhawks would do that, but there's something there. I know what you're saying.
Right. Well, Jesse, any other questions?
No, I'm out of questions. I was trying to see if there's any other news and notes we need to hit on.
I woke up to all of Finland shitting on Rene Fasel. That was fun.
Why? What happened?
Why?
So supposedly he did an interview where he was like, I'm no longer the head of the double IHF, so I can say this now, but like I don't know, Finland plays a defensive ugly style or whatever.
Why would he say that?
Because he's a
What does he have to gain?
big pro-Putin guy. And he was cheering for Russia.
Is he?
Oh,
Yep.
boo.
Boo.
Is he
boo,
really?
Tomato. Yeah.
Rene Fasel?
Yeah. Jarmo Kekalainen tweeted criticism of him. And basically, you were the head of the double IHF for way too long. I'm glad you're gone.
Wow.
I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, listen, remember when we were talking about Fasel and Bettman going head to head and it was just two supervillains?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's like you can't root for either side here. It was 2018. Remember that? It was
Yeah.
like, who will pay the insurance?
All right.
Yeah.
That's why they didn't go to the Olympics. Nobody wanted to pay the insurance.
Guys, you're both
Just stop.
awful.
Anyway.
Yeah, but you know, the thing I like about him over Bettman is he's gone.
Marc-Andre Fleury trade talks are heating up. That's the thing that's happening right now.
Is that from the CJ show?
No, it's from the news and notes of the NHL world. You know, who knows if it's Washington?
Mm-hmm.
What is on the CJ
And-
show? I'm gonna Jesse.
Listen to it.
Hey, Jesse.
I
Noxie and Cax tomorrow. What's coming up?
Oh my gosh. Noxie and Cax are recording today and it'll be released tomorrow morning. They are doing a wrap up of the Olympics. So you're going to hear all the Olympic covers and everything. They're going to tell some stories because they haven't done a episode of just the two of them that the world has heard.
We've heard it.
They did a episode pre-debut of the podcast that we heard. It was fantastic. So this episode, no guest, just Noxie and Cax shooting the shit.
I'm putting you on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
Any of the gold medalists coming on in the future?
Yes. I'm gonna say that once they land back in North America, there's gonna be a little more room to talk to them because they were kind of locked down when they were on the other side of the world and they couldn't be reached.
Get out
by
of town.
Yes,
any,
no way.
any sort of medium, so they couldn't come on the show. But now that they're back home, yes.
Awesome.
Also, you know what? I this is a complete oversight on my part. I want to quickly sneak this story in. Ty Tumania, stepping down at the PHF. And what Merrick and Friedge hinted at on 32 Thoughts at the intermission on Saturday night was that this probably means something's happening.
Interesting. Okay, so this drives me nuts.
'cause here's
I'm not
what's
allowed
happened.
to listen when I'm doing my stream.
Right, and that's a great segment, right? It's like you can't.
Headlines,
Well, and
yeah.
they dropped two bombs. There's
Bombs.
a leave trade coming and this.
And so what's interesting with this one is
It's
that
losing my mind.
she brought in millions of dollars, extensive health care,
Doubled the salary
doubles
cap.
the salary cap,
Yeah.
like did pretty big things in 18 months and is resigning.
Hmm.
So that tells me something's up, but I don't know what.
Something's up with the league. Like I don't know. Like
I have some guesses, but
give me one.
This is my guess.
Yes.
And this is what they hinted at.
Mm.
My guess is that they know that something's about to be absorbed into something else.
Oh.
That's my guess.
The other league?
I don't know.
Or their league?
I don't know if their league's going to be absorbed. I don't know. I actually don't know. But it sounds to me, like, think about this. She has accomplished a ton in 18 months and deserves credit for that. So you did all this great stuff and you stayed there 18 months while your because from the outside, for our perspective, their momentum's kicking.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
They're doing well.
Yeah.
So you're leaving?
Yeah, it's odd.
Mm.
Right? That tells me something. So I'd have my both eyes firmly on Twitter, as we often do, with the trade deadline. And I think there's something
Or
else.
not.
I don't know. I just think something else is coming.
Twitter kind of sucks.
Yeah, Twitter does suck. Just
Well,
yeah. Don't look at your replies. Just look at the feed. Don't look at your replies.
When's the show going up? What
This
time?
show, 5:15 p.m. Eastern.
All right, 5:16 p.m. Eastern. We're gonna find out.
Yeah, let me tell you something. I don't know anything. I'm guessing, but that's what
Right.
Merrick and Friedge hinted at. And
Isolate.
they're
I don't
smart.
know anything.
Yeah, send it to Edmonton. Please God. By the way, I changed
That's
my
our
name on
next
Twitter
clip.
to Mayor of Edmonton, Adam Wild. So,
Did you actually?
That's good.
so
What an
anyway,
asshole.
they like me there.
I'm gonna hit the button.
Yeah! Hit that button! So we're going to be broadcasting remote for the next couple of days, too. So it'll be me, Jesse, and Steve, all from our various homes because I'm technically on vacation, so we're doing the podcast remotely.
I need you to look up the word vacation. I don't think you're doing it right.
I think I'm doing it great. I love this vacation with you.
The Steve Dangle Podcast. Follow the guys on Twitter at Steve_Dangle, at Adam WYLDE, and at Jesse Blake. Connection complete.